Jennifer Anderson couldn't understand why Emma, her 9-year-old daughter, suddenly begged to stop going to weekly Bible studies. For 6 months, the girl loved the Wednesday night meetings with Pastor Williams in the private prayer room. Now she came home with red eyes, trembling, saying, "Mommy, I don't want it anymore." When Jennifer finally managed to get into that locked room, what she discovered made her blood cold. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back a few weeks. Jennifer Anderson was 36 years old and worked as a morning shift nurse at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. She was a single mother since Emma was born. The girl's father never wanted to assume paternity, and honestly, Jennifer learned not to need him. She built a solid life on her own, with hard work and dedication. Emma was his ray of sunshine, his reason for waking up every day and facing tiring shifts, difficult patients, and the rush of the big city. They lived in a small but cozy apartment in Midtown, a bustling neighborhood in Atlanta. The apartment was on the 3rd floor of an old building with windows overlooking a tree-lined street. Jennifer had decorated every corner with care. Colorful cushions on the sofa, framed photos of Emma at all stages of childhood, drawings of the little girl pasted on the fridge with heart magnets. It was a home full of love, even though it was just the two of them. Emma Anderson was 9 years old and a girl full of life, light brown hair that Jennifer tied up in braids every morning before school, bright green eyes that lit up when she smiled, and an infectious laugh that filled any room. Emma loved to sing, draw, and play on the playground near her home. He was an innocent, confident, and affectionate child, one of those who hug tight and say, "I love you," without any shame. Their routine was simple and predictable, just the way Jennifer liked it. They woke up at 6 in the morning. Jennifer prepared breakfast while Emma packed her school bag, cereals with milk, toast with jam, orange juice. They talked about the day's plans, about what Emma was going to learn at school, about what they would have for dinner. They were precious moments, just mother and daughter starting the day together. Jennifer dropped Emma off at Oakwood Elementary School at 7:30 a.m. before heading to the hospital. He worked until 3 in the afternoon, picked Emma up from school at 4, and returned home. In the evenings, after homework and dinner, they watched some cartoon together on the couch before Emma went to sleep. On Sundays, they went to church. First Baptist Church was only 3 blocks from their apartment. It was a red brick church with colorful stained glass windows and an old bell in the belfry. Jennifer and Emma had been attending that church since Emma was 4 years old. It was right after they moved to Midtown, when Jennifer was looking to put down roots, to find a community, a place where they could belong, and they found it. The church became a second family to them. Everyone knew each other by name. Donna Martha, the white-haired lady who always brought homemade dumplings for coffee after the service. The Johnsons, with their 3 teenage children who helped with children's activities. The Rodriguez family, who organized the Sunday picnics in Piedmont Park. Karen and her daughter Sophie, who became close friends with Jennifer and Emma. After the Sunday service, people were talking in the church courtyard. They exchanged recipes, arranged lunches, shared news of the week. It was a welcoming community where everyone really cared about each other. Jennifer felt that she had finally found a safe place to raise her daughter, an environment full of values and good people, and at the center of it all was Pastor David Williams. He was 48 years old, with well-combed grey hair, always dressed in a dark suit and tie. He was an imposing man with a firm but gentle voice, with a smile that conveyed confidence. Pastor Williams had led First Baptist Church for 12 years. He was respected not only by the congregation, but by the entire Midtown community. He participated in community councils, organized donation campaigns for needy families, visited patients in hospitals. Jennifer remembered well the day Pastor Williams baptized Emma. The girl was 5 years old, wearing a white dress, walking down the steps to the baptismal pool with her eyes wide with excitement. The pastor held her hand carefully, spoke beautiful words about faith and divine protection, and baptized Emma with a tenderness that made Jennifer cry with emotion that day. It was a special moment, which she kept with affection in her heart. Pastor Williams also visited Jennifer when she had pneumonia 2 years ago. It was a harsh winter, and Jennifer caught a severe infection in her lungs that left her bedridden for 2 weeks. He showed up at the apartment with a basket of fruit, said a prayer next to her, talked to Emma to calm her down. I told Jennifer not to worry, that the church would take care of anything they needed, and he really did. Members of the congregation brought food, picked up Emma from school, helped with whatever was needed. There were also the families that Pastor Williams helped financially. Jennifer knew of at least 3 affairs in recent years, families who lost jobs, who faced unexpected medical expenses, who went through difficult times. The pastor organized discreet collections, helped without making a fuss, without humiliating anyone. He was a man truly devoted to his flock. Emma loved the church as much as Jennifer. The girl participated in the children's choir every Sunday. She stood up front, next to 15 other children, singing hymns in that thin, out-of-tune voice that melted Jennifer's heart. Emma wore a beautiful dress, held the music folder even though she didn't know how to read the lyrics properly, and sang from the heart. Then she ran to Jennifer asking, "You saw me, Mom, I sang right." And Jennifer hugged, saying, "You were perfect, my love." In addition to the choir, Emma participated in Sunday school activities. Every Sunday morning before the main service, the children had Bible lessons adapted to their age. They learned stories from the Old and New Testaments through plays, drawings, and games. Emma always came back telling everything with enthusiasm. Today, we learn about Noah and the ark. Mommy knew that it had 2 of each animal. Or the teacher said that Jesus liked children just like me. Jennifer watched Emma grow up in that environment with joy. The girl was learning important values: kindness, compassion, honesty, love for others. I was making healthy friendships with other children in the church. I was building happy memories that I would take with me for life. As a mother, Jennifer couldn't ask for more. Sunday mornings were special. Jennifer would wake up early, prepare pancakes for breakfast, and the 2 would get ready calmly. Emma would choose a beautiful dress from her wardrobe. Jennifer would braid her hair, and they would walk around the neighborhood to the church. 3 blocks of quiet walk, chatting about anything, enjoying the fresh morning air. Jennifer felt blessed to have found that community. As a single mother, she knew it wasn't easy to raise a daughter alone. But there, in that church, she had support. There were people who cared, who asked how she was doing, who offered help when needed. She had a safe place for Emma to grow up surrounded by good examples. Pastor Williams always greeted Emma with special affection. "Emma, how is our favorite singer?" he said, smiling, putting his hand on the girl's shoulder. Emma smiled back, embarrassed but happy with the attention. He asked about school, about grades, about what she was learning. He seemed genuinely interested in the lives of the children in the congregation. During services, Pastor Williams preached passionately. His voice echoed through the hall, quoting passages from the Bible, telling stories that touched people's hearts, making connections with everyday life. Jennifer listened attentively, holding Emma's hand, feeling that she was in the right place. The messages were always about love, forgiveness, family, community. They were words that made sense, that brought comfort. At Sunday picnics in Piedmont Park, Pastor Williams participated like any other member of the community. He wore casual clothes, played frisbee with the kids, ate hot dogs sitting on the grass, laughed at other people's jokes. He did not place himself above anyone. He was accessible, human, present. The children ran around him without fear, asking to play, showing their toys, and he paid attention to each one. Jennifer never had reason to doubt Pastor Williams, not for a second. He was everything a religious leader should be: dedicated, compassionate, upright, a real man of God. Someone she trusted completely with her daughter, with her community, with her faith. If you've made it this far, it's because real history interests you. Help this content reach more people. Leave the like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. Life went on with tranquility. Jennifer worked, Emma studied, and on Sundays they renewed their faith together. It was a good, stable, predictable routine. Exactly what Jennifer always wanted to provide for her daughter. Security, love, structure. A home where Emma could grow up happy and healthy, away from danger, surrounded by good people. But everything changed when Pastor Williams announced a new program. It was on a Sunday in March. Spring was beginning to dawn in Atlanta, with the trees gaining pink and white flowers, the air getting warmer, the days longer. After the service, Pastor Williams asked that everyone remain seated because he had an important announcement to make. People settled down again on the wooden benches, curious. The pastor went up to the pulpit again, adjusted his reading glasses, and began to speak in that calm, steady voice that everyone knew. Brothers and sisters, I have news that fills my heart with joy. After much prayer and reflection, God placed in my heart a new project for our church. A project aimed at our children to strengthen their faith in a deeper and more special way. People paid attention. Some parents leaned forward in interest. The pastor continued, "We are going to start a program called Advanced Bible Studies for Special Children. It will be a select group with weekly meetings where I will work more closely and dedicatedly with some children from our congregation. We will explore Christian values through playful activities, deep conversations, moments of prayer and reflection." He explained that the program would be for children between 8 and 11 years old. Only 12 children would be chosen for this first class. He would select each one himself based on criteria such as church membership, willingness to learn, and spiritual potential. The meetings would take place every Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the prayer room on the second floor of the church, duration of an hour and a half. The room was murmuring. Parents talked to each other, excited about the possibility. "What an honor it would be if my son was chosen," commented someone behind Jennifer. Pastor Williams raised his hand, asking for silence. "During the week, I will personally contact the families of the selected children. I only ask that you trust my judgment and support your children in this very important spiritual journey." Jennifer felt a twinge of hope. It would be wonderful if Emma was chosen. The girl was dedicated, participative, always present in church activities, but Jennifer didn't want to create expectations either. There were only 12 vacancies for dozens of children in the congregation. The chances were slim. 3 days later, on Wednesday night, Jennifer's phone rang. It was Pastor Williams. "Good night, Jennifer. I hope I'm not bothering you," he said in that gentle voice. Jennifer quickly replied that it was no bother at all. The pastor went straight to the point. "Jennifer, I've been praying a lot about the children who will be part of the new Bible study program. And I want to say that Emma was one of the chosen ones." Jennifer's heart leaped for joy. "Seriously, Pastor Williams, seriously." He laughed on the other end of the line. "Yes, I'm sure. Emma is a special, dedicated girl with a pure heart. I'm sure she will flourish even more in this program. I would like to tell her in person, if you allow him." Jennifer said yes, that it would be an honor, that Emma would be so happy. The following Saturday, after the service, Elder Williams called Emma to talk. Jennifer stood a few feet away, watching. The pastor knelt down to stand at the girl's height, put his hands on her shoulders, and spoke with a warm smile. "Emma, you are a very special girl. God has beautiful plans for your life, and I want to help you figure out those plans, so I chose you to be part of our special Bible study group." Emma's eyes widened. "I was chosen?" asked the girl in a thin voice of emotion. Pastor Williams nodded. "Yes, you were. Because you're special, Emma. Very special." The meetings would begin next Wednesday. Emma ran up to Jennifer with her eyes shining. "Mom! Mom! Pastor Williams said I was chosen because I'm very special," screamed the girl, jumping for joy. Jennifer hugged her daughter, feeling her chest swell with pride. "How wonderful, my love. I'm so proud of you." Emma kept talking about it. In the car, returning home during lunch the whole afternoon, she was radiant, feeling important, recognized. Jennifer saw her daughter's happiness and felt blessed. On Wednesday night, Jennifer took Emma to the first meeting of the special group. They arrived at the church at 6:45 a.m. Other families were also arriving. Jennifer recognized some. Karen was there with Sophie, Patricia with her daughter Megan, the Thompson couple with their son Lucas. Everyone looked proud, talking animatedly about what an honor it was for their children to have been chosen. Pastor Williams greeted the families at the entrance of the church. "Good evening, everyone. What a joy to see you here." The children seemed a little shy but excited. He quickly explained how it would work. The meetings would take place on the second floor, in the prayer room. It was a controlled, silent environment, perfect for deep studies. Parents were supposed to drop off their children at 7 a.m. and pick them up at 8:30 a.m. One of the mothers asked if they could keep watching. Pastor Williams smiled gently but shook his head. "I understand the concern, but it is part of the methodology that the children are only between them and me. It is important to create an environment of trust where they feel comfortable expressing themselves without the presence of their parents. I have decades of experience working with children. You can trust it." The parents agreed. It made sense. Jennifer kissed Emma's forehead. "Have fun, my love. Learn a lot. I'll pick you up in an hour and a half." Emma waved and went upstairs with the other children, following Pastor Williams. Jennifer watched until they disappeared into the second-floor hallway. Jennifer returned home. He prepared tea, watched some television, answered some messages. Time passed quickly. At 8:20 a.m. she was back at the church. Other parents were also starting to arrive. They were talking in the courtyard, waiting for the children to come down. At 8:30 a.m., sharp, the second-floor door opened, and the children began to descend the stairs. Emma was running with a huge smile on her face. "Mom was so nice, so fun," she said, holding Jennifer's hand. In the car, Emma told everything. Pastor Williams made jokes about Bible stories. They set up a theater about David and Goliath. They had a moment of prayer in a circle where each child gave thanks for something special. "It was wonderful, Mom, just wonderful." Jennifer smiled, listening to her daughter's excitement. "That's good, my love. I'm so glad you liked it." Emma talked all the way home, remembering every detail, laughing, gesticulating. Jennifer felt she had made the right decision by allowing Emma to participate. In the following weeks, the routine was established. Every Wednesday night, Jennifer took Emma to special Bible studies. The girl always came in excited and left happy. He told about the activities, about the stories they learned, about the conversations they had. Everything seemed perfect. But by week 5, Jennifer began to notice small changes. It was subtle at first. Emma still entered the church excitedly on Wednesdays. But when Jennifer picked her up, the girl was quieter. In the car driving home, Emma didn't talk as much as she used to. When Jennifer asked how it was today, my love, Emma replied it was just good, Mom, without going into details. Jennifer thought it was strange, but tried not to give it importance. Maybe Emma was just tired. After all, it was the end of the day after a full day of school. Normal to stay quiet. Jennifer didn't want to be that kind of mother who sees trouble in everything. But then he began to notice other signs. Emma stared out the car window in silence, with a distant expression. Sometimes his eyes were reddened, as if he had cried. Jennifer asked, "Daughter, something happened. Are you okay?" Emma quickly replied, "No, Mom, I'm just tired." But she looked away. One night, Jennifer woke up to the sound of crying coming from Emma's room. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. She ran there and found Emma sitting on the bed, hugging the teddy bear, crying softly. "My love, what happened?" asked Jennifer, sitting next to her daughter and hugging her. Emma sobbed. "I had a nightmare, Mom." Jennifer stroked the girl's hair. "Do you want to tell me about the nightmare?" Emma shook her head hard. No, I don't want to talk about that, Jennifer insisted gently. Sometimes talking helps, my love. But Emma refused. Please, Mum, just stay here with me. Jennifer stayed, holding her daughter until she went back to sleep, but her heart was tight. The next day, Jennifer tried again. During breakfast, he brought up the subject. Emma, about yesterday's nightmare, is sure she doesn't want to talk. The girl ate her cereals in silence, avoiding her mother's gaze. It was nothing, Mum. I already forgot. But Jennifer saw that it wasn't true. I saw it in Emma's hunched posture, in the tense shoulders, in the way she moved the spoon slowly in the bowl. Jennifer felt something strange in her stomach, a feeling I couldn't explain. Intuition, perhaps. That mother's instinct that detects when something isn't right, but at the same time she questioned herself. Maybe it's just school fatigue, she thought, trying to calm down. Maybe I'm seeing things where there aren't any. If this revelation is arousing in you a deep curiosity about what really happened, comment right now, I want more stories, and please leave your like on this video. The weeks passed. Emma continued to attend Bible studies on Wednesdays, but the changes were more evident. The girl no longer had that sparkle in her eyes. She was quieter at home, more distant. Jennifer tried to talk, but Emma closed herself more and more. One Saturday afternoon, Emma was drawing at the kitchen table while Jennifer was preparing dinner. Jennifer watched her daughter out of the corner of her eye. Emma drew a church with a bell on top, but he wore dark colors. Black, grey, brown. None of the vibrant colors he always wore. What a beautiful drawing, Jennifer commented, approaching. Emma quickly turned over the sheet of paper and said it was ugly, that she was going to make another one. During dinner that night, Jennifer tried a different approach. Emma, you're still enjoying the Bible studies with Pastor Williams. Emma stirred the food with her fork without looking up. Yes, I am, Mom, Jennifer insisted, because it seems like you're not as excited as before. Emma finally looked at her mother. It's okay, Mom. It's just that it's getting harder. Harder, Jennifer frowned. What do you mean, my love? Emma looked away again. We're learning more complicated things now. Pastor Williams said they are special lessons, only for the children he chose. Jennifer wanted to ask more, but something in Emma's closed posture made her stop. I didn't want to push too hard. But the anguish did not leave Jennifer alone. At night, lying in bed, she would lie awake thinking, was something going on? Was Emma being bullied by some other child in the group? Was Pastor Williams being too strict in his lessons? Or was Jennifer inventing problems where none existed? In the 5th week after the start of the program, something happened that changed everything. It was a Wednesday. Jennifer came home from work and picked up Emma from school as usual. The girl got into the car in silence, threw her backpack in the back seat, and stared out the window. How was school today? Jennifer asked while driving. It was, Emma replied without emotion. At home, Jennifer prepared a snack, biscuits and milk. Emma ate mechanically without speaking. Jennifer looked at her watch. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. In 2 hours they would need to leave for the church. Emma, in a little while we'll have to get ready for Bible studies, Jennifer reminded us. It was then that Emma began to cry. Tears simply began to flow down the girl's face without warning. She didn't make a sound, she just cried silently, her shoulders shaking. Jennifer was scared. Emma, my God, what happened? The girl was sobbing now, trying to speak but without being able to. Jennifer hugged her daughter tightly, feeling her heart race with concern. After a few minutes, Emma managed to speak between sobs. Mom, I don't want to go today. Please, can I stay at home, please? Jennifer held her daughter's face with both hands. Why not, my love? You've always liked it so much. Which has changed? Emma just shook her head, crying harder. Please, Mom, I don't want to go. Please. Jennifer was confused. Emma, explain to me what's going on. Someone hurt you. Someone said something. The girl sobbed and said no, that no one had done anything, but that she just didn't want to go anymore. Jennifer, not knowing what to do, held her daughter's hands. Okay, okay. If you don't want to go today, you won't. Let's stay at home. Emma seemed to ease up a little. Seriously, Mum. Jennifer nodded. Seriously, I won't force you, but you need to promise me that later we'll talk about what's going on, okay? Emma wiped away her tears with the backs of her hands and nodded in agreement. Jennifer picked up the phone and called the church. He managed to talk to the secretary, who passed the message to Pastor Williams that Emma would not go that night because she was not feeling well. The secretary said that the pastor was getting well and that she hoped to see Emma the following week. That evening, after dinner, Jennifer tried to talk to Emma. The two were sitting on the couch with the television turned off. Emma held the teddy bear in her lap, hugged against her chest. "Daughter, can you tell me what's making you so sad?" Emma was silent for a long time. Then, in a low voice, he said something that made Jennifer's heart tighten. "Pastor Williams said it's a secret that I can't tell. Otherwise, God will be sad with me." Jennifer felt a shiver run down her spine. "Secret," he repeated slowly. "What a secret, Emma." The girl squeezed the teddy bear tighter. "I can't tell you, Mom. It's a secret. If I tell you, bad things happen." Jennifer tried to keep her voice calm, but she was starting to panic inside. "Emma, listen. There is no secret between us. You can tell me anything. God would never be sad with you for telling your mother the truth." But Emma shook her head. "Pastor Williams said yes, which is a special secret, only ours, and that if we tell them, God doesn't like it." Jennifer felt anger begin to bubble up inside her. That wasn't right. None of that was right. Why there would be secrets in Bible studies? Why would a 9-year-old have to keep secrets from his own mother? "Emma, look at me," Jennifer said, lifting her daughter's chin gently. "Whatever Pastor Williams said, you don't have to be afraid. I am your mother. My job is to protect you. No matter what it is, you can tell me." But Emma just burst into tears again and asked to go to sleep. Jennifer let her daughter go, but she couldn't sleep that night. She sat on the sofa in the living room in the darkness, thinking. Secret. The word echoed in his mind. Why would a pastor be asking children to keep secrets? Why was Emma so scared? Why had the girl changed so much in the last few weeks? But what happened in the next few hours would destroy all the certainties she had. The next morning, Thursday, Jennifer took Emma to school as usual. But instead of going straight to the hospital to work, Jennifer pulled out her phone and started researching. He typed in signs of child abuse on Google. He read articles about how children behave when something is wrong. Change in behavior, inexplicable fear, nightmares, keep secrets, all the symptoms Emma was experiencing. Jennifer felt nausea rise. No, it couldn't be that. It was Pastor Williams, a man of God, a man she had known for years, a man respected by all. She was going crazy. I was seeing monsters where they didn't exist. He needed to calm down, but the anguish did not go away. Jennifer worked that day on automatic. He attended to patients, wrote down information, administered medication, but his mind was far away. He was with Emma. I was in that prayer room on the second floor of the church. I was trying to understand what was happening. At 3 p.m., Jennifer left the hospital and picked up Emma from school. In the car, he tried a different approach. "Emma, what do you and the other children do in Bible studies? You can tell me at least that." Emma shrugged. "We do activities, games, prayers," Jennifer insisted. "What kind of activities?" Emma tensed. "I don't know, Mom. Normal stuff." It was not true. Jennifer saw it in her daughter's posture, in the tone of her voice, in the way she looked away. Emma was lying. Or rather, he was hiding something. And that made Jennifer more and more desperate. That night, Jennifer was unable to have dinner. He prepared food for Emma, put the girl in front of the television, and went to her room. He picked up the phone and called Karen, Sophie's mother. I needed to know if other children were having the same symptoms. Karen answered excitedly. "Hi, Jennifer. How are you?" Jennifer got straight to the point. "Karen, I wanted to ask how Sophie is doing in Bible studies." Karen laughed. Oh, she's loving it. It's an honor to have our daughter in this special group, isn't it? Jennifer hesitated. But you haven't noticed any change in it? Some different behavior? Karen was silent for a moment. No, no big deal. Why? Something happened to Emma. Jennifer didn't know what to say. I didn't want to sound paranoid. He did not want to spread unfounded suspicions. No, I was just curious. She hung up the phone, feeling even more confused. Could it be that the problem was only Emma? Were the other children okay? Or could it be that the other parents just weren't paying attention? If you're here so far, it's because this story is stirring you. What follows will show the exact moment when everything changed. Therefore, at the end of this video, we will reveal the complete outcome with details that few know. Stay with me until the end. The following Wednesday, Jennifer didn't know what to do. Emma woke up with deep, dark circles under her eyes. I hadn't slept well all night. During breakfast, the girl stirred the cereals without eating. Jennifer, today she has Bible studies again. You want to go? Emma looked at her mother with pleading eyes. I don't want to, Mom. Please don't take me. Jennifer felt her heart break, but at the same time, I needed to understand what was happening. He made a risky decision. Emma, I'll make an arrangement with you. Today you go, but I go along. I'll stay outside, waiting. And if at any time you want to leave, just call me. All right. Emma didn't seem convinced, but she agreed. That night, Jennifer took her daughter to church. They arrived at 6:50 a.m., 10 minutes before the time. Other children and parents were also arriving. Jennifer searched for Karen, but she wasn't there that day. Just a few parents Jennifer knew by sight. Pastor Williams showed up at the door of the church at 7 o'clock sharp. Good night, kids. Good night, parents. Let's get started. The children began to climb the stairs. Emma looked back at Jennifer with a look of fear. Jennifer made a gesture of encouragement. Go, my love, I am here. When all the children climbed up, the parents began to disperse. Jennifer, however, stayed. I told the other parents that I was going to wait right there because it wasn't worth going home and back. They shrugged their shoulders and left. Jennifer was left alone in the churchyard. She waited 15 minutes. Then, with his heart pounding, he went upstairs. The second floor of the church was a long corridor with several rooms on either side. The prayer room was at the end of the corridor on the right. Jennifer walked slowly, trying not to make a sound. His footsteps echoed softly on the wooden floor. When he got close to the door of the prayer room, he stopped. The door was completely closed. Jennifer tried to look through the glass window at the top of the door, but thick curtains covered everything. You couldn't see anything. She put her ear to the door, trying to listen. I heard Pastor Williams' voice speaking quietly. He couldn't understand the words, only the tone. Then he heard muffled laughter from children. He seemed to hear Emma whisper something, but he wasn't sure. Her heart was pounding so hard she thought she could be heard on the other side of the door. Jennifer tried to turn the handle discreetly. It was locked inside. Of course I would be. But why lock a room with children? Why hide what was going on inside? Jennifer tried to think of innocent motives, but she couldn't find any. Suddenly, without warning, the door opened. Pastor Williams stood there with a broad smile on his face. Jennifer, what a surprise, he said in that calm voice. It's okay. Jennifer felt her face heat up with embarrassment. He stammered, trying to explain. I just wanted to know how the class is going. If Emma is well. The pastor bowed his head, still smiling. Everything is perfect, Jennifer. The children are learning a lot. But it is important not to interrupt. It is part of the methodology. We need to create an environment of trust and concentration. I'm sure you understand. Jennifer tried to look over his shoulder into the room, but Pastor Williams closed the door behind him, blocking the view. Jennifer felt small, ashamed, like a child being scolded. Sorry, Pastor. I didn't want to get in the way. He placed a hand on her shoulder, gentle but firm. Don't worry, Jennifer. I know it's hard for a mother to be away from her daughter, but trust me, Emma is in good hands. He is learning wonderful things. In a little while you come to pick her up, and you can ask her everything." Jennifer went downstairs feeling terrible. Pastor Williams was right. She was being paranoid. She was invading a space that was not hers. He was disrespecting his methodology, a man with decades of experience. What kind of crazy mother she was becoming. But at the same time, the discomfort only increased, because that door was locked, because the curtains were closed. Why Pastor Williams seemed so determined to keep his parents away. Jennifer paced back and forth in the churchyard, her hands sweating, her stomach turning. At 8:30 a.m., the children began to descend. Emma came slowly, with her head bowed. Jennifer ran up to her. "Hello, my love. How it was?" Emma just held her mother's hand and said in a low voice, "I can go home now." In the car, Jennifer tried to talk, but Emma didn't answer. I just stared out the window in silence. That night, after Emma had fallen asleep, Jennifer sat on the living room couch thinking. He needed answers. I needed to understand what was happening. But at the same time, I didn't know how to get those answers. Emma did not speak. The pastor blocked any attempt to approach. The other parents saw no problem. Jennifer felt completely alone. The following Sunday, after the service, Jennifer decided to talk to other mothers. I needed to know if I was going crazy or if I had real reasons for concern. He looked for Karen in the courtyard of the church. He found her talking to Patricia, mother of the girl Megan, who also participated in the group. Jennifer approached, trying to look casual. "Hi, girls. How are you?" They responded excitedly. Jennifer took a deep breath. "Karen, Patricia wanted to ask you something about the Bible study program. You noticed something different in your girls." Karen frowned. "Different like Jennifer?" Jennifer hesitated. "I don't know. Quieter. More distant. Some change in behavior." Patricia shook her head. "Megan is doing very well. She loves Wednesdays. He returns home telling everything." Karen agreed. Sophie too. She says that Pastor Williams is very nice, that they do fun activities. Why, Jennifer, is something going on with Emma? Jennifer felt all the words she wanted to say lock in her throat. She never commented on anything strange, some secret or something that made her uncomfortable. Karen laughed. "Ah, Jennifer, I think you're too worried. Children always have little secrets about surprises. It's normal. They're preparing something special for the show's finale, probably." Jennifer tried to insist. "But Emma has been so different, sadder, afraid." Patricia put a hand on Jennifer's arm. "Jennifer, maybe Emma is just tired. You know, school, activities, it's a lot for a kid. Maybe she needs more rest. But I'm sure there's nothing wrong with the program. Pastor Williams is a man of God. He took care of our community for so many years." Another mom Jennifer didn't know well joined the conversation. "You are talking about the special program. My daughter also participates. She loves it. It is an honor to have such a dedicated pastor who invests time in our children. We are not lucky." The other women agreed. Jennifer tried to explain her discomfort, but the words came out confused. "It's just that, I don't know. I feel that something is not right." The other mothers looked at her with an expression between pity and strangeness. Karen whispered, "Jennifer, you're fine. He's sleeping well. Maybe you're stressed about work." Jennifer felt her cheeks burn. "No, that's not it. It's just—" But she couldn't finish the sentence. Patricia patted her on the shoulder. "Look, if you're so worried, why don't you talk directly to Pastor Williams? I'm sure he can reassure you." The women said their goodbyes and left, leaving Jennifer alone. She felt small, ridiculous, paranoid. All the other children were fine. All the other parents were happy and confident. "Am I going crazy?" Jennifer thought. "Am I seeing things where there are none? Could it be that the problem is in my head?" But when she looked at Emma, sitting alone in a pew near the church, hugging her own body, with that distant, sad expression, Jennifer knew she wasn't imagining. Something was wrong. Very wrong. If this story is already changing the way you see maternal protection, like, subscribe and activate the bell in this video so that this message reaches other mothers. In the weeks that followed, Emma became even more distant. Jennifer saw her daughter languish before her eyes. The girl stopped eating properly. Jennifer prepared Emma's favorite dishes, but she just stirred the food with her fork, bringing small portions to her mouth unwillingly. In 2 weeks, Emma lost visible weight. His clothes began to become loose. Her cheeks, once full and rosy, became thin and pale. The dark circles under Emma's eyes deepened. The girl did not sleep well. Jennifer would wake up in the middle of the night and go check on her daughter's room. He found Emma awake, staring at the ceiling in the dark, or hugging the teddy bear, crying softly. "My love can't sleep?" asked Jennifer, lying next to her. Emma just shook her head and said it was okay, but Jennifer saw that it wasn't. Emma began to be afraid to go to church. Every Wednesday was a fight. In the morning, Emma was already waking up nervous. During the afternoon, she became more and more tense. When Jennifer said it was time to get ready, Emma would start crying. "Mom, please, I may not go today, please." Jennifer didn't know what to do. Part of her simply wanted to let Emma stay at home, to protect her from whatever was causing her so much suffering. But another part of her was confused. Was this not just a phase? Wouldn't letting Emma give up teach her daughter to run away from problems? Jennifer was lost, not knowing which way to go. One night, Jennifer was washing dinner dishes when she heard a strange noise coming from the bathroom. It was a muffled sound, like someone trying not to make noise but failing. Jennifer put down the sponge, dried her hands quickly, and walked to the bathroom. The door was ajar. She pushed the door down slowly. Emma was sitting on the bathroom floor, leaning against the wall, with her knees bent against her chest, hugging the teddy bear. He was crying silently, his face hidden between his knees. Jennifer's heart broke into 1,000 pieces. "Emma, my God," Jennifer said, entering quickly and kneeling next to her daughter. She wrapped Emma in her arms, pulling the girl close. Emma was sobbing now, not trying to hide it anymore. Jennifer felt her daughter's tears wetting her blouse. She felt her small body trembling. "Daughter, please tell me what's going on. Mommy is here to protect you." Emma continued to cry for a long time. Jennifer just held her daughter, stroking her hair, whispering comforting words. "It's okay, my love. I am here. You're safe." Finally, between sobs, Emma began to speak. "Pastor Williams said that if I tell you, bad things will happen." Jennifer felt a shiver run through her whole body. "What kind of bad things, my love?" Emma looked up, her eyes red and swollen. "He said God will be angry, that you can get sick. What bad things can happen to you?" Jennifer felt anger grow inside her, a deep, visceral anger, like I had never felt before. He held Emma's face with both hands, looking straight into the girl's eyes. "Emma, listen carefully to what I'm going to tell you. Nothing bad will happen to me. God would never, ever be mad at you for telling your mother the truth. Whatever Pastor Williams said, it is not true. Did you understand?" Emma looked at her mother with wide eyes, but he did. Jennifer shook her head. "It doesn't matter what he said. I am your mother. My job is to protect you, and I promise you, for my life, that nothing bad will happen. You can tell me anything. Anything, Emma." The girl sobbed again. "But Mom, it's a secret. I can't." Jennifer hugged her daughter tightly. Okay. You don't have to tell me now if you don't want to. But I want you to know that I believe in you. And I want you to know that you don't have to go to Bible studies anymore. It's over. I won't take you anymore. You are listening. It's over." Emma seemed to ease up a little, but she was still frightened. "And Pastor Williams, he's going to get mad." Jennifer kissed her daughter's forehead. "Leave Pastor Williams to me. You don't have to worry. Mom will solve this. You just need to stay safe and know that I love you more than anything in the world." The two sat on the bathroom floor for a few more minutes, hugging. Jennifer felt Emma's body relax little by little. Finally, he helped his daughter up, washed her face with cold water, and took her to bed. He stayed by Emma's side until the girl fell asleep, caressing her hair, silently promising that he would protect her from everything and everyone. Jennifer made a decision that night. I would find out the truth, whatever the cost. But Jennifer couldn't just accuse Pastor Williams without evidence. She knew that. He was too respected in the community. I had led that church for 12 years. He baptized dozens of children. He visited families in difficult times. He organized charity campaigns. If Jennifer appeared making accusations without concrete evidence, no one would believe her. They would think she was crazy, paranoid, making up problems. Maybe they would even take her away from the church. Perhaps they judged her as an unbalanced mother, trying to defame a man of God. No, Jennifer needed proof, real, incontrovertible evidence that showed exactly what was happening in that closed prayer room. Only then would anyone believe her. Only then would he be able to protect Emma and the other children. Jennifer spent the whole night awake, sitting on the sofa in the living room, with her laptop open on her lap, researching. He typed in Google how to get evidence of child abuse. He read articles about legal rights of parents, about what was allowed, about how to document suspicious situations. Then he researched recording devices, small audio recorders that could be hidden easily, found a perfect model on an electronics website. It was a tiny digital recorder about the size of a keychain, with the ability to record up to 4 hours of audio continuously. It could be activated with a simple button and turned off in the same way. The price was affordable. Jennifer bought immediately, paying for express delivery. It would arrive in 2 days. The next morning, Friday, Jennifer took Emma to school as usual. The girl was calmer after the conversation the night before. As she said goodbye, Jennifer held her daughter's face. "Remember what we talked about yesterday? You don't have to go to Bible studies anymore." Emma nodded in relief, but Jennifer didn't tell her about the plan she was forming in her mind. He didn't want to scare his daughter any more than she already was. The recorder arrived on Sunday afternoon. Jennifer opened the box in the kitchen, her hands shaking slightly with nervousness. The device was really small, fitting in the palm of his hand. It came with tiny headphones and a USB cable to transfer the audio files to the computer. Jennifer read the instructions twice, making sure she understood how it worked. He tested it by recording his own voice. When it played back, the quality was clear, crisp, perfect. Now he needed to think about how to put the tape recorder on Emma without anyone noticing. It couldn't stay in the pocket of the girl's clothes because it would be easy to find out. It needed to be somewhere inconspicuous, but at the same time close enough to pick up the voices and sounds of the room. Jennifer looked at Emma's school bag, hanging from the hook near the door. Of course, the backpack. Jennifer took the backpack and examined it. There was a small, zippered side pocket where Emma usually kept tissues. Jennifer took a soft handkerchief, wrapped the tape recorder carefully, and put it in the bottom of her pocket. He tested it by zipping it up. The volume was imperceptible, no one would notice, and the backpack was always close to Emma during the activities. It would be perfect. On Monday night, Jennifer sat down with Emma in the living room. She needed to explain the plan to her daughter. "My love, I need to talk to you about something important," Jennifer began, choosing her words carefully. Emma looked at her with those green eyes, still sad, but paying attention. "I know you don't want to go to Bible studies anymore, and I promised that I won't force you anymore, but I need to find out what's going on there. I need evidence to be able to help you and the other children." Emma tensed. "As you'll find out, Mom." Jennifer took a deep breath. "I bought a very small recorder. I'll put it in your backpack. He will stay on and record everything that happens during the Bible study. You don't have to do anything. Just leave the backpack close to where you stand. No one will know it's there. It's safe, I promise." Emma widened her eyes in fright. "But Mom, what if Pastor Williams finds out? And if God gets angry?" Jennifer held her daughter's hands firmly. "Listen, my love. God never gets mad when we're trying to protect children, and Pastor Williams won't find out. The tape recorder is tiny, it's hidden in your handkerchief. No one will touch your backpack, but I need this recording to prove that you're telling the truth, so that people will believe me when I tell them what's going on." Emma was still afraid, but Jennifer saw that the girl was considering it. "Do you trust me?" Jennifer asked softly. Emma nodded. "So trust that I will protect you, that I won't let anything bad happen to you. This is the last time you need to go there. Just one more time to record what happens, then it was over. You'll never need to see Pastor Williams again. I promise." Emma thought for a long moment, biting her lower lip, a nervous habit she had had since she was a little girl. Finally, in a low voice, he agreed. "Okay, Mom, I trust you. I do that." Jennifer hugged her daughter tightly, feeling tears pricking her eyes. "You are so brave, my girl, so brave. I love you so much." The days that followed were tense. Jennifer had to wait until Wednesday to execute the plan. Each day seemed to drag on in an eternity. Jennifer worked at the hospital on automatic, her mind always turning to Emma, to the tape recorder, to what they could discover. At night, after Emma went to sleep, Jennifer would stay awake, planning every detail, thinking of all possible scenarios, trying to prepare for what was to come. Tuesday night, Jennifer tested the recorder once again. He made sure the battery was fully charged. She wrapped it again in the soft handkerchief and put it in the side pocket of Emma's backpack. On Wednesday morning, he woke up with his heart already beating fast with nervousness. Over breakfast, Jennifer watched Emma. The girl was quiet, fiddling with the cereals without much appetite, clearly nervous about what would happen that night. Jennifer tried to keep the conversation light, talking about trivial things, trying to distract her daughter, but they both knew what was coming. The air between them was charged with unspoken tension. By 6:30 p.m., Jennifer and Emma were ready to leave. Jennifer dressed Emma in comfortable clothes, tied her hair in a simple ponytail. Before leaving, Jennifer knelt in front of her daughter, standing at her height. He looked into Emma's green eyes. "Are you okay? He really wants to do that, because if you don't want to, you don't have to. We can find another way." Emma shook her head. "No, Mom, I want to do it. I want this to end." Jennifer felt her chest tighten with pride and sadness at the same time. He kissed his daughter's forehead. "Remember, you don't have to do anything. Just leave your backpack close. The recorder will take care of the rest, and I'll be waiting for you. I'll be in the parking lot the whole time. If you need to leave at any time, just come down and look for me. You're listening?" Emma nodded. He pulled his backpack onto his back. Jennifer discreetly checked that the side pocket was properly closed. It was. The recorder was there, hidden, ready. Jennifer took the car keys and opened the door to the apartment. The two quietly went downstairs, got into the car, and Jennifer drove to the church. The 10-minute journey seemed to last forever. Jennifer held the steering wheel so tightly that her fingers turned white. He looked at Emma in the rearview mirror. The girl was in the back seat, looking out the window, hugging her own backpack. Jennifer wanted to say something comforting, but the words didn't come. They arrived at First Baptist Church at 6:50 a.m. Other families were already there. Jennifer saw Karen getting out of the car with Sophie. He saw Patricia and Megan walking to the entrance. Other parents, whom Jennifer recognized by sight, also brought their children. Everyone seemed calm, normal, with no idea what Jennifer was about to discover. Jennifer parked the car, but didn't hurry to get out. He held Emma's hand over the bench. "Remember that I love you more than anything in the world, and that you are the bravest girl I know." Emma shook her mother's hand back. "I love you too, Mom." The two got out of the car and walked to the entrance of the church. Pastor Williams was there, as always, welcoming the children with a wide smile. "Good evening, children. Good evening, parents. What a blessing to see you here." Jennifer felt a knot in her stomach as she looked at him, that man she had trusted completely, that man who had baptized Emma, that man who visited her when she was sick. How could it be him? Emma hesitated for a moment in the driveway, but then looked back at Jennifer. The mother made an encouraging gesture. "Go, my love. I am here." Emma took a deep breath and went inside, joining the other children. Jennifer watched her daughter climb the stairs towards the second floor, her backpack on her back, and felt her heart break. The other parents began to disperse, going home, going shopping, taking advantage of the free hour and a half. But Jennifer didn't go. She walked to the parking lot and stood there, leaning against the car, waiting. Another mother Jennifer didn't know well passed her by. "Don't go home," the woman asked. Jennifer shook her head. "It doesn't pay to go back and forth. I'll wait right here." The woman shrugged her shoulders and left. Jennifer was left alone in the parking lot. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and pink. It should be beautiful, but Jennifer barely noticed. She paced back and forth between parked cars. I looked at the clock on my cell phone every few minutes. 7 hours, 7 and 5, 7 and 10. Time dragged on in a torturous way. Jennifer was sweating cold despite the crisp spring night air. His hands trembled. She would stuff them in her coat pockets, but then take them out again to check her phone, to see if Emma had texted her, even though she knew the girl didn't have a phone. It was just a nervous need to do something with my hands. His legs were wobbly, as if they could not support his weight properly. He leaned on the car, took a deep breath, tried to calm down. But the heart kept beating hard, fast, like a drum in the chest. She felt every beat echoing in her ears. I thought of Emma upstairs in that closed room. I thought about the tape recorder hidden in my backpack. I thought about what they might discover. What if I didn't record anything useful? What if the audio was muffled? What if someone discovered the tape recorder? What if Pastor Williams did something to Emma? What if? What if? What if? The thoughts swirled in his mind non-stop, each one more distressing than the last. Jennifer clenched her fists, trying to control the anxiety that threatened to consume her. 7:30, 7:40, 7:50. Every minute was agony. Jennifer started walking in circles around the parking lot. He needed to move, to expend the nervous energy that accumulated in his body. Other people passed by on the street, walking their dogs, coming home from work, going about their normal lives. No one had any idea of the drama that was unfolding there in that church. Finally, at 8:20, Jennifer saw the door of the church open. His heart leaped. But it wasn't the children yet, just a few members of the congregation coming out of some meeting on the first floor. Jennifer waited again, her hands sweating, her stomach turning. 8:25, 8 and 28. 8:30. The door opened again. This time it was them. The children began to descend the stairs. Jennifer ran towards the entrance. His eyes searched for Emma among the other children. Where was she? Where was his daughter? So you see. Emma went down slowly, holding the railing, with her head down. She was pale, her cheeks discolored. His face was closed, expressionless. Jennifer ran up to her, ignoring the other children and parents. "Emma, my love, everything is fine." Emma looked up at her mother. For a second, Jennifer saw something in those eyes. Tiredness, fear, relief to see his mother. Emma just nodded, not speaking. Jennifer hugged her daughter quickly, aware that other people were watching. He took Emma's hand, and the two walked quickly to the car. In the car, Jennifer tried to talk. "How was it, my love?" He managed to leave his backpack nearby. Emma only nodded, responding with monosyllables. Yes, no, he was fine. Jennifer didn't insist. He could see that his daughter was emotionally exhausted. I would save the questions for later. For now, I just wanted to take Emma home to safety. During the drive to the apartment, Jennifer held Emma's hand over the changing table. From time to time, he pressed a silent reminder that he was there, that everything would be okay. Emma looked out the window in silence. Jennifer saw the reflection of her daughter's face in the glass. It seemed so small, so fragile. A child who had gone through things that no child should go through. At home, Jennifer prepared a light dinner, vegetable soup and toast. Emma ate a little, more than in the last few days, which was a good sign. After dinner, Jennifer helped Emma take a warm bath, dressed her in the most comfortable pajamas she had, and put her to bed. "You were very brave today, my girl," Very brave. Now rest. It's okay. It's over. You never have to go back there. Emma held her mother's hand. You're going to listen now, he asked in a low voice. Jennifer shook her head. Not now. Tomorrow. Today you need to sleep. Emma closed her eyes, clearly relieved that she didn't have to talk about it at that moment. Jennifer stayed by the bed, stroking her daughter's hair until Emma fell asleep. Only then did she leave the room, closing the door softly behind her. Jennifer went to the living room. He took Emma's backpack that was left at the entrance. He sat down on the couch. With trembling hands, he opened his side pocket, took out his handkerchief, and unwrapped the tape recorder. There it was, still on, the tiny red light flashing. Jennifer pressed the button to hang up. Then he connected the USB cable to the recorder and his laptop. The audio file appeared on the computer screen. Duration of 1 hour and 27 minutes. Jennifer put on her headphones. Her heart was beating so hard that she could hear the blood pulsing in her ears. Positioned the cursor at the beginning of the file. He took a deep breath. He pressed play. At first he heard only noises, sound of children talking low, movement, footsteps. The audio quality wasn't perfect, a little muffled by being inside the backpack. But you could understand. Jennifer recognized Emma's voice, saying something to another child about forgetting the colored pencil. Voices of other children laughing, talking about school. Then he heard heavier footsteps. Pastor Williams's voice, clear and firm. Good evening, children. It's good to have you here again. The children responded in chorus. Good night, Pastor Williams. Jennifer listened attentively, every muscle tense. Let's begin, said the voice of the pastor. First, let's say our special prayer in a circle, all hand in hand. He heard sounds of movement, children moving, probably forming a circle. The pastor's voice continued. Close your eyes, children. Let's thank God for being here together in this special moment. There was a pause. Jennifer waited, heart in her throat. The pastor began a prayer. No biggie, common words about gratitude and blessings. But then the prayer ended, and the pastor's voice changed. It became lower, almost whispering. Now, kids, let's do our special trust exercise. Jennifer felt a shiver. He heard the sounds of chairs being dragged. What they were doing. Remember, said the pastor, this is only between us. It is our secret with God. If they tell their parents, they won't understand. They're going to be confused. They might even get mad at you, and bad things can happen. Jennifer felt nausea rise. His hands clenched the laptop tightly. He kept listening. The pastor explained the exercise of trust. He said that children needed to obey without question because that was how they showed faith in God. That closing their eyes and trusting was what God wanted from them. Jennifer heard indistinct sounds. Movement, a child asking something that he couldn't understand. The pastor's response, gentle but firm. Don't question it, my dear. Just obey. That's how God wants it. Then Jennifer heard something that made her blood run cold. Emma's trembling voice. Pastor Williams, I don't want to do that today. I can just watch. Her daughter's voice was so small, so scared. Jennifer felt tears start to run down her face. The pastor's answer was cold, without the kindness of before. Emma, you want God to be sad with you. You want your mother to get sick. You want bad things to happen to the people you love. No, Emma whispered in the recording. So be obedient like the other children, said the pastor. Come here. Now. Jennifer heard footsteps. He heard Emma start crying softly. You heard the pastor saying, don't cry, this is special, this is beautiful, God is happy with you. But Emma kept crying, trying to stifle her sobs. Jennifer stopped recording. I couldn't hear anymore. She was shaking all over, tears falling non-stop down her face, a sob stuck in her throat. Oh my God! Oh my God! His intuition was right. His daughter had been manipulated, terrorized, psychologically abused by that man. That man she had trusted, that man of God. Jennifer took off her headphones with her hands shaking. He got up from the couch, staggering. He ran to the bathroom and vomited. She stood there, kneeling on the cold floor, hugging the toilet, crying and vomiting alternately. All the anguish of the last few weeks, all the tension, all the anger, everything came out at that moment. His body trembled uncontrollably. When she finally managed to get up, she washed her face with cold water. He looked at his reflection in the mirror. His eyes were red and swollen. His face was pale. But there was something else there. A fierce determination. A fire that burned in his chest. Now he had the proof. Now he knew exactly what was happening. Now he needed to act. Jennifer returned to the room. He took out his laptop. He put the headphones back on and returned the recording to the beginning. This time, even if it hurt, even if every word was a stab, she would hear everything. She needed to know exactly what had been done to her daughter and the other children. I needed every detail to be able to use it against that monster. He listened to the full recording. 87 minutes of horror. Pastor Williams talked about trust exercises that involved touching children in inappropriate ways, always using religious language to justify. It spoke about sacred secrets that could not be shared. He used fear and guilt to manipulate innocent children. Jennifer heard other children besides Emma crying as well. He heard a girl, probably Sophie, asking to stop. He heard another child saying he was afraid. And Pastor Williams always responded in kind, using God as a tool of manipulation, saying that it was special, it was holy, it was divine will, that children who obeyed would be blessed, that those who did not obey would bring a curse to their families. It was disgusting, it was diabolical, it was the worst kind of abuse hidden behind a mask of piety and faith. When the recording ended, Jennifer was exhausted. But he couldn't stop now. I couldn't just go to sleep and deal with it in the morning. He needed to act immediately. That man could not have another opportunity to get close to any child, not one. Jennifer looked at her watch. It was 11:30 at night. Late, but it didn't matter. He took out his cell phone. Her hands were still shaking, but she typed into the Atlanta police station, child abuse. He found the number of the Central Police Station. He called. An attendant answered. Atlanta Police Station, where I can help. Jennifer tried to keep her voice steady. I need to report a case of child abuse. It is urgent. The attendant changed her tone, becoming more serious. I see, ma'am. Can you give me some details? Jennifer told everything. He talked about Emma, about the Bible study program, about the changes in behavior, about the secret, about the recording he had just heard. He spoke fast, the words coming out in torrents, trying to convey the urgency of the situation. The attendant listened, asking occasional questions. How many children were involved? This had been going on for a long time. You have the recording with you. Yes, I have everything recorded. It's on my computer. I can send it now. The attendant said no, that it would be better to bring it in person. He asked Jennifer to go to the police station the next morning, as early as possible. She said she would be referred to a detective specializing in crimes against children, that he took all the evidence he had. Jennifer agreed, thanked her, and hung up. But he couldn't wait until the next morning without doing anything else. He opened the laptop again. I needed to copy the recording. I couldn't risk losing the only evidence. He connected a pen drive and copied the audio file. Then he sent a copy to his own email. 3 copies. Safe. Jennifer also needed to inform the church. They had a right to know, or rather, they had an obligation to know. He searched the First Baptist Church website for the Board of Directors email. He found the address of the church's administrative council. He composed a careful but direct message. Dear board members, my name is Jennifer Anderson, and my daughter Emma participates in the Advanced Bible Studies program led by Pastor David Williams. I am writing to inform you that I have concrete evidence that Pastor Williams is psychologically abusing and manipulating the children of this program. I have an audio recording of tonight's meeting that documents completely inappropriate behavior and manipulation using religious language to terrorize children. I have already called the police and will be presenting all the evidence tomorrow morning. I believe you should be aware immediately to take the necessary steps to protect the other children in the congregation. I await urgent feedback." Jennifer attached the audio file to the email. Before sending, he reread the message 3 times. It was clear. He was firm. She was right. He pressed send. That's it. There was no turning back now. If you're here, it's because this story deserves to be heard. I believe that what comes next will surprise you even more. Don't leave this video before you find out how it all ended. Jennifer didn't sleep that night. She sat on the couch with her laptop on her lap, listening to the recording 2 more times. It became clearer and clearer. Elder Williams spoke about special touches that taught children to trust, about obedience exercises where children had to follow instructions without question, about sacred secrets that only they shared with God. He said things like, "Your parents won't understand because they're not as special as you." It said, "If you tell them, God will be sad and can punish your families." I was chosen by God to teach you these special lessons. It was psychological manipulation in the cruelest way, using the innocent faith of children against themselves. Jennifer was also able to identify other voices in the recording. Sophie, Karen's daughter, was definitely there. Jennifer recognized the girl's voice. Megan, Patricia's daughter too. Lucas Thompson. Other children she didn't know well, but knew were part of the program. In total, it counted 12 different children's voices, all being manipulated. All of them were psychologically abused. All of them were holding terrible secrets that were destroying them from within. At 5 in the morning, Jennifer finally gave up trying to rest. She took a long shower, trying to wash away the feeling of dirt she had felt since listening to the recording. He dressed in simple but presentable clothes: jeans, blouse, coat. She wanted to appear serious, trustworthy, not hysterical or unbalanced. She needed the authorities to take her seriously. At 6:30, Emma checked. The girl was still asleep, her face finally quiet in sleep. Jennifer left a note on the kitchen table saying that she had left early to solve something important, that she would be back soon, that she had left breakfast ready. He didn't want to wake Emma. The girl needed to rest. Jennifer took the laptop, the flash drive with the recording, and drove to the Atlanta Central Police Station. He arrived at 7:15 in the morning. The building was large gray brick with the American flag waving in front. Jennifer parked, grabbed her things, and went inside. The reception was busy even at that time. Police coming and going, people making complaints, phones ringing. Jennifer approached the counter. The attendant, a middle-aged woman with short hair, welcomed her. "What can I help with, ma'am?" Jennifer took a deep breath. "I called last night to report a case of child abuse. I was told to come early today. Bring evidence." The attendant checked on the computer. "Jennifer Anderson," the woman waved. "Yes, it's here. Wait a moment, please. I'll call the detective in charge." Jennifer sat in a plastic chair in the waiting room. His legs swayed nervously. He clutched his laptop to his chest. 10 minutes later, a woman of about 40 years of age appeared. She was Latina, of medium height, dark hair tied in a bun, wearing dress pants and a shirt. "Jennifer Anderson?" she asked. Jennifer stood up quickly. "Yes, it's me." The woman held out her hand. "Detective Sarah Martinez. I came personally because cases involving children are my specialty. Please, come with me." Jennifer followed the detective down a hallway to a small room. There was a table, a few chairs, and nothing else. Detective Martinez closed the door. "Sit down, please." Jennifer sat down. The detective sat across the table. "So, tell me what's going on." Jennifer told everything from the beginning. He talked about the Bible study program, about how Emma had been chosen, about how the girl began to change her behavior. He talked about nightmares, about refusing to go to church, about the words secret and special. She talked about how no one believed her, about how alone she felt. He talked about the tape recorder, about the decision to obtain evidence. Detective Martinez listened attentively, making notes in a notebook. He didn't interrupt. He just waved occasionally, encouraging Jennifer to continue. When Jennifer finished telling the facts, the detective asked you to bring the recording. Jennifer nodded. It's here. He opened the laptop, plugged in the headphones, and passed it to the detective. He placed the file at the most incriminating point. Detective Martinez put on her headphones and pressed play. Jennifer watched her face. He saw the detective's expression harden as he listened. He saw his brows furrow. He saw his jaw twitch. After a few minutes, Detective Martinez took off the headphones. His face was visibly disturbed. Jennifer, this is very serious indeed. We will open an immediate investigation. Jennifer felt relief flood her body. You believe me? The detective looked her in the eye. I totally believe it, and I will do everything in my power to ensure that this man never comes near any children again. Detective Martinez explained the next steps. They would need to interview Emma with a psychologist who specializes in childhood trauma. They would also need to interview the other children in the program, all with psychological support. They would need to get a warrant to search the prayer room, to see if there was more evidence, cameras, materials, anything. Cases involving religious leaders were sensitive, the detective explained, because these people had a lot of respect and support in the community. But with the recording Jennifer had, combined with the children's testimonies, they would have a solid case. Jennifer authorized everything. Do what is necessary. I just want my daughter to be safe, and that the other children too. Detective Martinez placed a hand on Jennifer's arm. You did the right thing. You were brave. Many mothers, when they are suspicious, are afraid to act. They are afraid of being wrong, of causing problems. But you trusted your gut, and he saved his daughter. Possibly saved several children. The tears Jennifer had held back throughout the conversation finally fell. It was relief. It was validation. It was confirmation that I wasn't crazy. I wasn't paranoid. I wasn't exaggerating. She was right. Her maternal instinct was right. Detective Martinez scheduled the interview with Emma for that same day in the afternoon. It said police child psychologist Dr. Rebecca Thompson would be available at 3 a.m. Jennifer agreed. He also asked for a copy of the audio file for police records. Jennifer passed the pen drive. You can keep it. I have other copies. Before Jennifer left, the detective asked one more question. You informed the church? Jennifer nodded. I emailed the board of directors last night with the recording attached. Detective Martinez sighed. They will probably want to stifle it, protect the reputation of the institution. It is common in cases like this. But they won't be able to. Not with an ongoing police investigation, and not with the evidence we have. Jennifer returned home at 9 in the morning. He found Emma awake, eating toast in the kitchen. "Mommy, where were you?" asked the girl. Jennifer kissed the top of her head. I went to the police. I told him everything. They will help us. Emma widened her eyes. Seriously? Jennifer nodded. Seriously. And this afternoon you will talk to a very nice psychologist. She'll ask you questions about what happened. You can tell her everything. She's safe now. He can't hurt you anymore. Emma began to cry, but it was tears of relief. Mom, thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Jennifer hugged her daughter tightly. I will always believe in you. Always. They stayed like that for a long time, hugging in the kitchen, crying together, relieved, exhausted, but finally hopeful that everything would be okay. By 3 p.m., Jennifer and Emma were back at the police station. They were taken to a different, more welcoming room, with comfortable sofas, stuffed animals, toys. Clearly, a room designed to put children at ease. Dr. Rebecca Thompson received them. She was a woman of about 50 years old, grey hair, colored-rimmed glasses, a gentle smile. Hi, Emma, my name is Rebecca. I came here to talk to you about some things. That's fine. Emma looked at Jennifer nervously. Jennifer held his hand. It's okay, my love. You can trust it. The psychologist explained that Jennifer could stay in the next room, watching through a mirrored glass. but that it would be better for Emma to talk to herself to feel more comfortable. Jennifer didn't want to, but she understood. He kissed his daughter. "I'll be right there next door. If you need me, just call." Jennifer was taken to the observation room. Detective Martinez was there. Through the glass, I saw Emma sitting on the couch with Dr. Thompson. The psychologist started with simple questions about school, about what Emma liked to do, about her drawings. Gradually, he directed him to the church, to Pastor Williams, to Bible studies. Jennifer watched her 9-year-old daughter relate, in simple but clear words, what had happened. Emma told of the confidence exercises that made her feel uncomfortable, about the touches that Pastor Williams said were special, about how he said it was a secret, about the veiled threats that bad things would happen if they told, about the fear she felt every time she went to church, about nightmares, about how she wanted to tell her mother, but was afraid. Jennifer was crying silently on the other side of the glass. Detective Martinez placed a hand on his shoulder. "It was one of the hardest days of Jennifer's life. To hear your daughter talk about that suffering, about that fear, about that manipulation. Knowing that Emma had been through this for weeks and Jennifer hadn't been able to stop it before. The guilt was overwhelming, but at the same time, there was relief. Emma was talking. She was freeing herself from those secrets that had consumed her, and it was being heard, validated, believed. Dr. Thompson reacted with empathy and encouragement. "You were very brave, Emma. Very brave. What happened was not his fault. You didn't do anything wrong, and your mother did the right thing by protecting you." The interview lasted an hour. When she was done, Dr. Thompson brought Emma back. Jennifer hugged her daughter immediately. "You were amazing, my love. So strong." Emma was exhausted but also seemed lighter, as if a weight had lifted off her shoulders. "Mom, she believed me. He believed in everything." Jennifer kissed her daughter's forehead. "Of course he believed. Because you're telling the truth. Doctor." Thompson talked to Jennifer privately while Emma waited. "There are clear indications of psychological manipulation and emotional abuse," the psychologist said. "Emma will need therapy to process what happened, but it is strong. With adequate support, he will recover well." Jennifer asked about the other children. Dr. Thompson sighed. "We will interview all of them in the next 48 hours. I have the feeling that the reports will be very similar." Detective Martinez joined them. "Jennifer, based on Emma's testimony, the recording you provided, and what we hope to find out from the other children, I will ask for a search warrant for the church. Let's search that prayer room. See if there is more evidence. Cameras, documents, anything." Jennifer nodded. "When this will happen." The detective checked her watch. "If all goes well, we will get the warrant by tomorrow. We will run the search on Wednesday morning." Jennifer felt a mixture of nervousness and satisfaction. Wednesday. The day that children would normally have Bible studies again. But this time, instead of going to that room, the police would be there, searching, discovering, exposing. Pastor Williams would finally be confronted with his actions. Mother and daughter returned home. Jennifer cooked Emma's favorite dinner, pasta with meatballs. Emma ate with more appetite than she had had in weeks. They talked about light things, trying to return to some normality. But both knew that the next few days would be intense. The truth was about to come out, and nothing would be the same after that. That night, for the first time in weeks, Emma slept through the night without nightmares. Jennifer checked several times, peeking into the room, watching her daughter sleep peacefully. It was as if just by telling the truth, just by being believed, Emma was already beginning to heal. On Tuesday morning, Jennifer called work to let her know she needed a few days off. He explained that it was a family emergency. Her supervisor, who had known Jennifer for years, told her not to worry, to do whatever she had to do. Jennifer also didn't take Emma to school. She kept her daughter at home, where she felt safer, more protected. During the afternoon, Jennifer's phone rang. It was Detective Martinez. "Jennifer, we got the warrant. We will carry out the search tomorrow morning, Wednesday, at 9 a.m. I thought you'd like to know. Jennifer felt her heart race. Thank you for letting me know. I can be there. The detective hesitated. Technically not. It's an investigation scene, but I'll call you as soon as we're done and tell you what we found. That night, Jennifer could barely sleep again. But this time it wasn't anguish. It was anticipation. Anxiety to know what the police would find. Hope that there was enough evidence to ensure that Pastor Williams was punished. Fear that perhaps they would find nothing and that the man would remain free. It was a roller coaster of emotions. Wednesday, April 17th. Jennifer woke up at 6 in the morning, even though she didn't sleep properly. By 8:30 a.m., he was already up, walking around the room, looking at the clock every few minutes. Emma was in her room, drawing, calm, with no idea what was happening at that very moment in the church where she had gone through so much suffering. At 9 a.m. sharp, Jennifer knew the police were entering First Baptist Church. I imagined the scene. Vehicles stopping in front, police officers climbing the stairs, Detective Martinez showing the warrant, Pastor Williams trying to prevent protest, alleging invasion of sacred property. But a warrant was a warrant. No one was above the law, not even a pastor. Jennifer was waiting. 9:15, 9:30, 9:45. Every minute seemed like an hour. The phone finally rang at 10:25 a.m. Jennifer answered at the first ring. Hello. It was Detective Martinez. Jennifer, we need to talk. You can come to the police station now. We found something. The detective's tone of voice was serious, heavy. Jennifer felt her heart race. They found what? What was there? I can't talk on the phone. Come here. Jennifer agreed, hung up, and rushed to Emma's room. Daughter, I need to get out quickly. I'm going to the neighbor's house. Donna Clara will stay with you, okay? Emma nodded. It's okay, Mum. Jennifer knocked on the door of her downstairs neighbor, Donna Clara, a retired lady who adored Emma. He quickly explained that he had an emergency, asked if he could leave Emma there for an hour or two. Donna Clara, always kind, immediately agreed. Jennifer ran back, picked up Emma, dropped her off at the neighbor's house, and left. Before we continue, help bring real stories to those who really care. If you want to be part of this mission, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. He drove to the police station with his heart in his mouth. It arrived in 15 minutes. He ran inside. The receptionist was already waiting for her. Detective Martinez is in the conference room waiting for you. Jennifer was taken to a room larger than the previous one. Inside were Detective Martinez and 2 other police officers Jennifer didn't know. Everyone had serious expressions. Sit down, Jennifer, said the detective, pointing to a chair. Jennifer sat up, her legs weak. What happened? What you found? Detective Martinez took a deep breath. We entered the second-floor prayer room of First Baptist Church at 9 a.m. with the search warrant. Pastor David Williams tried to stop us, claiming that it was a sacred space, but we had legal authorization. The detective paused, exchanged glances with the other officers, and continued. Jennifer, what we find in that room is disturbing. Very disturbing. There was a notebook with detailed notes about each child in the program. Names, ages, physical characteristics, personality descriptions, vulnerabilities, fears. It was like a dossier on each child. Pastor Williams had studied each one, knew exactly how to manipulate them. Jennifer felt nausea start to rise again. Go on. The detective showed some printed photos on the table. We also found photographs. Many photographs. From children during so-called trust exercises, in embarrassing positions. They are not sexually explicit images, but they are extremely inappropriate. Children blindfolded, children being touched in inappropriate ways, children crying. Jennifer looked at the photos and quickly looked away. He couldn't see his daughter or the other children like that. Detective Martinez continued. In addition, we found a hidden camera. It was installed behind a religious picture on the wall. It pointed out where the children stayed during the meetings. I recorded everything. We are seizing the memory card now for analysis. We believe there are hours of filming. Jennifer was shaking. "Oh my God. He filmed everything." The detective nodded gravely. "Yes. And there's more. We found literature on psychological manipulation, mind control techniques, manuals on how to use religious language to break resistance. He was following a pattern. It was not something spontaneous. It was deliberate, calculated, methodically planned." One of the other officers, an older man with grey hair, leaned forward. "Ms. Anderson, based on what we have found, we call for the immediate arrest of Pastor David Williams. He was detained on the spot. He is now in a cell, awaiting a custody hearing. He will be formally charged with psychological abuse of minors, production of inappropriate material involving children, manipulation and coercion, and other related crimes." Jennifer felt a wave of relief and justice at the same time. "He is in prison, really stuck." Detective Martinez waved. "Yes, and we ask for the denial of bail due to the risk of flight and the seriousness of the crimes. He will not leave." Jennifer covered her face with her hands and began to cry. They were tears of relief, of validation, of exhaustion. All the weight of the last few weeks, all the struggle, all the anguish, everything culminated in that moment. Word spread through the Midtown community like wildfire. On that Wednesday afternoon, everyone knew Pastor David Williams had been arrested. The church was being investigated. Children had been victims of abuse. The phones kept ringing. Social networks exploded with shocked comments. How could this happen? As no one noticed. How could a man of God do something like that? Jennifer's phone rang incessantly. First it was Karen. "Jennifer, my God, I saw it on television. Police arrested Pastor Williams. It's true." Jennifer confirmed that yes, that it was all true. Karen began to cry on the other end of the line. "Jennifer, you were right. You were right all along. I should have listened to you. My Sophie also suffered. I failed my daughter." Jennifer tried to console her friend. "Karen, you didn't fail. He was manipulative. He deceived all of us. The important thing is that now they are safe." Other mothers called. Patricia, desperate, asking if Megan had also been a victim. Lucas's mother, panicking, wanting to know what to do. Jennifer gave Detective Martinez's number, explained about the interviews with psychologists, tried to calm each one down. That night, local news from Atlanta aired the story. Baptist church pastor arrested for child abuse. Jennifer watched it with Emma on the side. They showed images of the church, the police coming in, Pastor Williams being taken away in handcuffs. Emma cringed at the sight of the man on television. Jennifer hugged her daughter. "It's over, my love. He can't hurt you anymore. Never again." Over the next few days, Detective Martinez interviewed all 12 children on the show. Each confirmed that they had been victims of manipulation and psychological abuse. Some had suffered more than others, but all had been affected. The devastated parents came together. They formed a support group, meeting at Jennifer's house to share experiences, cry together, strengthen each other. Jennifer became, in a way, the leader of that group. After all, she had had the courage to act first. She had been the one who had obtained the evidence. She had been the one who denounced it. The other mothers thanked her constantly. "You saved our daughters," they said. Jennifer always answered in the same way. "I saved because I trusted my gut. And all of you would have done the same if you had noticed the signs." First Baptist Church released an official statement apologizing to the affected families. They said they were shocked, that they never imagined, that they would take all the necessary measures to ensure that something like this would never happen again. They promised to implement new safety protocols for all children's activities. Many families left the congregation, unable to continue attending the place where their children had been injured. Jennifer and Emma never returned. The case gained attention from the local media. Jennifer was invited to give interviews. At first, he hesitated. "I didn't want exposure." He didn't want Emma to be publicly identified. But then she realized that she could use that platform to warn other parents. He accepted an interview with a local broadcaster on the condition that Emma's identity be protected. Sitting in the studio, with the lights bright and the camera pointed at her, Jennifer told her story. He talked about the signs he noticed in Emma. She talked about how she felt alone when no one believed her. She spoke about the importance of trusting in the maternal instinct. If you're a mum and you feel something is wrong with your child, don't ignore it, she said, looking directly at the camera. It doesn't matter who the person is, teacher, coach, religious leader, even a family member. If your gut tells you something is wrong, investigate, protect your child, because no one will do it for you. The interview went viral locally. Jennifer began to receive messages from other mothers in similar situations, some thanking him for having given voice to what they felt, others asking for advice on how to act. Jennifer answered each one, offering support, sharing resources, recommending specialized professionals. Meanwhile, Emma began the long process of recovery. Jennifer took her to Dr. Rebecca Thompson for weekly therapy. The sessions were difficult at first. Emma had a hard time talking about what happened. I felt shame, guilt, fear. But Dr. Thompson was patient and skilled. Gradually, using techniques appropriate for children, she helped Emma process the trauma. They did art therapy exercises. Emma drew her feelings. At first, the drawings were dark, full of shadows, but over time, the colors began to return. They used breathing techniques to control anxiety. They talked about how Emma was not to blame for what happened, how brave she had been, how his voice had power. Jennifer also went to therapy. He had his own guilt to prosecute. Why didn't I notice it before? How I let this happen to my daughter? Her therapist, Dr. Michael Chen, helped her understand that she had done exactly what she needed to do, that he had trusted instinct, investigated, obtained evidence, protected Emma, that he couldn't blame himself for not knowing something that was being deliberately hidden by an experienced manipulator. The 8 victim families became close. They met twice a month at the home of one of the mothers. The children played together while the adults talked, sharing updates on therapy, on the legal process, on challenges and victories. Karen and Jennifer have developed a deep friendship. Sophie and Emma went back to playing together, helping each other recover. They knew they were not alone in what they had been through, and that brought comfort. It took time, but the recovery happened. It was not linear. There were difficult days, setbacks, moments of crisis, but there was also steady progress. 6 months after the complaint, Emma was back to genuinely smiling. He started to eat better. The nightmares subsided. She went back to playing, drawing with vibrant colors, singing around the house. Jennifer very carefully began to look for a new religious community for them. He didn't want Emma to lose faith because of a man who had used God as a tool of manipulation. He visited several small churches in Atlanta. He personally talked to each pastor, explained the situation, asked about safety protocols. He checked every detail before he felt comfortable. They found a small community in Decatur, a nearby suburb. It was a welcoming church, with no more than 50 members, where everyone knew each other. They had strict policies. No adult could be alone with children. All rooms had transparent windows. There were security cameras in common areas. Parents could visit the children's activities at any time. Jennifer felt safe there. Emma, hesitant at first, eventually joined the children's choir again. His thin voice singing hymns filled Jennifer's heart with joy again. 8 months after his arrest, the trial of Pastor David Williams began. It was a long and public process. Jennifer was present at all the hearings, sitting in the gallery, supporting the other families who also attended. The courtroom was always full. Members of the old congregation, journalists, onlookers, all wanting to see justice done. The children did not have to testify in person thanks to a special procedure. They were recorded on video in a controlled environment, accompanied by psychologists, reporting what they had experienced. These testimonies were presented to the jury. Jennifer watched each one, crying silently as she listened to Emma and the other children tell their stories in simple but powerful words. The evidence presented by the prosecution was overwhelming. The audio recording that Jennifer had provided, the photographs found in the prayer room, the hidden camera footage, the notebook with notes about each child, psychological reports confirming trauma in all victims, testimonies from child abuse experts explaining the patterns of manipulation used. The defense tried to argue that it was all a misunderstanding, that Pastor Williams was a dedicated educator using unconventional methods, that the activities had a pedagogical purpose and had been misinterpreted, but no one believed it. The evidence was all too clear. The manipulation was too obvious. The jury did not take long to deliberate. Pastor David Williams was found guilty of all charges: psychological abuse of minors, production of inappropriate material involving children, manipulation and coercion, invasion of privacy. When the verdict was read, a murmur ran through the courtroom. Jennifer held Emma's hand, who had insisted on being present on that particular day. "It's over, my daughter. He won't hurt anyone anymore." The sentence came 2 weeks later, 25 years in prison, with no possibility of parole for the first 15 years. The judge, in handing down the sentence, spoke directly to Pastor Williams. "You abused the position of trust you held. He used the faith of innocent children against them. It has caused psychological damage that will take years to repair." This sentence reflects the gravity of their crimes and serves as a warning that no position, not even religious, is above the law when it comes to the protection of children. The families left the courtroom relieved, exhausted, but finally at peace. Justice had been done. Children could start moving on, knowing that the man who hurt them was trapped and no longer posed a threat. Jennifer's story inspired real change. First Baptist Church not only implemented new safety protocols, but also created a mandatory training program for all volunteers working with children. Other churches in Atlanta followed suit. Schools have revised their policies. The case became a study on the importance of child surveillance and protection. Jennifer has been invited to speak at schools, churches, and community events. She talked about signs of abuse, about the importance of believing in children, about trusting the maternal instinct. His message resonated. Parents began to pay more attention. They asked more questions. They investigated further. And some children were saved before the abuse deepened, thanks to the alert Jennifer had sounded. Today, 3 years after that terrible discovery, Jennifer Anderson looks at Emma, now 12, and sees a strong girl, recovered and full of life. Emma smiled again, trusted, and even chose to volunteer in a program that helps younger children who have gone through similar situations. She learned that her voice has power, that speaking the truth is not wrong, but liberating. Emma gives talks in schools along with her mother, sharing her story in an age-appropriate way, encouraging other children to speak up when something isn't right. Jennifer carries forever the memory of those difficult days, but also the immense pride of having trusted her maternal instinct when everyone around her said she was overreacting. That tightness in my chest, that lingering feeling that something was wrong, was not paranoia. It was protection. It was the oldest and most powerful call there is, that of a mother defending her daughter. And Jennifer responded to that call with courage. The other 8 families also recovered. Her children are still in therapy, but they are slowly returning to normality. Some have changed schools, seeking new beginnings. Others remained in their routines, but with more attentive, more present, more vigilant parents. The support group they formed continues to meet, no longer out of urgent necessity, but by choice, because they have become a family united by pain, but strengthened by collective courage. Karen and Jennifer are best friends now. Their daughters, Sophie and Emma, grew up together, overcoming trauma side by side. They know they will carry the scars of that period forever, but they also know they are survivors, not victims. They are warriors who have found their voice and their power. Jennifer's story teaches us fundamental truths that every mother and father needs to engrave in their hearts. First truth, always, always trust your instinct when it comes to your children. That gut feeling that something isn't right is rarely wrong. Her body, her mind, her mother's heart detect dangers that her reason has not yet processed. Don't ignore it. Don't minimize it. Don't let other people convince you that you're making up problems. Second truth, no reputation, no religious office, no position of authority, no title is above the safety of a child. It doesn't matter if it's a respected pastor for decades, an award-winning teacher, a champion coach, or a renowned doctor. If something seems wrong, investigate, protect first, ask later. It is better to be wrong and apologize than to be right and have failed to protect your child. Third truth, always believe your daughter or son when they say something is wrong. Even if they can't explain it properly, even if it seems confusing, even if it contradicts what you believe about someone. Children rarely lie about discomfort or fear. If your child says he doesn't want to go somewhere, that he doesn't want to be with a certain person, that something isn't right, take it seriously. Chat, investigate, validate the child's feelings. Fourth truth, courage is not the absence of fear. It is to act in spite of it. Jennifer was afraid of being deceived, of being judged, of causing problems, of not being believed. But he acted anyway. And he saved his daughter. He saved 8 other children. It prevented dozens of future children from becoming victims. An act of courage, even if shaky and uncertain, can change everything. Fifth truth, being a mother is not just about loving. It is also protecting. Even when the whole world says you're overreacting, even when the community looks at you with strangeness, even when authority figures tell you to relax, your job is not to be popular or well-regarded. Your job is to make sure your child is safe. And if that means being called paranoid, overprotective, problematic, so be it. Your child's safety is worth more than any opinion of others. And you who have watched this far, who have followed every word of this journey, know that this is not just a story. It is a warning. He is an inspiration. It is proof that trusting the maternal instinct can save lives. If you are a mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, or anyone who takes care of children, never ignore that feeling of discomfort. Investigate, ask, protect. Your gut is there for a reason. If this story has touched your heart, if you believe that more people need to hear this message, help spread the word. Leave your like right now. This helps the video reach more families who need this alert. Subscribe to the channel because every week we bring you real and exciting stories that teach us about courage, love, and protection. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. And share this video with other mothers and fathers in your groups on social networks, because sharing knowledge is protecting children. Speaking of stories that will move you deeply, the next video that is appearing on your screen now tells the story of a grandmother who was suspicious of her daughter's new boyfriend when he started paying too much attention to her 7-year-old granddaughter. What she discovered while investigating made the whole family realize that they had let a predator into the house. It's a story of instinct, protection, and justice that will leave you speechless and teach you important lessons about who we let into our children's lives. Click now to watch, because it's really worth it. Jennifer and Emma's story ended well, but only because a mother had the courage to trust what she felt. How many other stories are happening right now, where mothers feel that discomfort but are afraid to act? How many children are suffering in silence because the adults around don't want to see, don't want to believe, don't want to cause trouble? This story is a reminder that our most sacred responsibility is to protect the vulnerable, and that sometimes protecting means being inconvenient, asking difficult questions, trusting what we feel even without concrete evidence yet. Jennifer today says she doesn't regret any decision she made, nor of having bought the tape recorder, nor of having involved the police, nor of having exposed Pastor Williams publicly, because in the end, he saved his daughter. And that's the only thing that matters. Emma is safe, she is healthy, she is recovering, and the man who tried to destroy his innocence is trapped where he can't hurt anyone else. A big hug from the bottom of my heart to you who have come this far. May this story inspire you to trust your gut, that encourages you to protect the one you love above all else, that reminds you that courage doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be real. Stay with God, always protect those you love, and see you in our next heartwarming story that will touch your heart and change the way you see the world.